Hello again, Dread Mechanic here for part 8 of my Building a Walking Citadel stream. And what did we do last time? Last time we were playing with some great big vanilla super weapons. Well, mostly vanilla weapons now. Because last time I built a rail cannon, like so, but last time it did have a large grid, a 3x3 small grid welder in the centre. And it worked for the purposes of firing from the cockpit and using it manually, but we discovered that the AI was having a serious struggle trying to actually aim at anything, and it was very janky and very weird and didn't seem to know what it was doing. And after a lot of testing and fiddling around off stream, I discovered that it was most likely an issue with the small grid tools, particularly the small grid 3x3 welder. It apparently doesn't have, not that one, it apparently doesn't have the greatest of lines of sight when blocked in, even in the slightest. And having that in the centre where those middle railguns are was apparently enough to completely obscure its view of anything and completely decimate its targeting abilities. I tried a lot of adjustments, placing it in various different places around the cannon, and the other issue I encountered is because this block is 3 blocks wide, it needs to stick out quite a long way from the main grid to be able to aim, because I tried putting it under here, kind of like that, and even there, its view was completely obscured by the barrel, and trying to put it on the sides, or places like that, meant that it was targeting from quite a distance from the actual fire that was coming out of the gun. So I ended up having to compromise and adding a couple of mods to this design. These mods are available on both Steam and Mod.io, so no one is getting left out of anything. And it is quite simply Azimuth's Tiny Tool mod, which is literally just a 1:1 downscale of the large grid block tools. So it basically works exactly the same, looks exactly the same, and takes up the same amount of space in terms of grids. And it also meant that I could actually fit the targeting system into this thing and have it actually work. So now it's got a tiny little welder up here. Oh, and the other thing I discovered was that putting the targeting reference for this weapon on a separate subgrid from the actual control grids for the turret also caused massive problems with targeting. It would do a lot of jiggling and wiggling around and couldn't figure out what it was doing. Now that the welder is attached to the same grid as the elevation rotor for that turret, it works fine. And can even do AI targeting now. So, I did a little bit of a redesign around the outside and of the platform so that we can enter and exit the base when there's actually a corridor there. And we can come out here, and because I had to redesign things, the seat isn't reachable anymore. Sort of. We got a little glimpse of it there, but I added a bunch of small grid ladders. I made a little small grid platform for it, so now we can just jump in like so. Let's go into spectator mode, have a little better look at it. So yeah, now we've got this That's... There we go. Move back a bit. Cool, so now we've got a fully controllable small grid super weapon thing, and we can click the mouse button. All you got to do is give it one click and it fires, and then this has a recharge system so that we can't accidentally fire the system or break anything, and when the green light at the end starts flashing, we are ready to go again. Because I had to do a bit of maths and a bit of timing to figure out the exact timing sequence for the recharge of the railguns, and I also did a little bit of adjusting to try and get the guns to fire at the top of their rotation. So they should all come out closer to the top of the barrel, which is a little bit closer in line with the welder. The only problem is, if I want the targeting accuracy of this to be better, realistically I need to move that welder down to here, but it would be obscured by that, and I want to have the cool little thing there, so it's not the greatest at aiming at small things, but a rail cannon like that isn't really designed for taking out smaller drones, it's more intended for taking out larger ships. So, now that we've got a targeting reference, that works. Oh, another thing I should mention that I also noticed while playing with the turrets. Some rules of turret targeting that I've seemed to have come across. If a turret has a camera, it will use the camera as the targeting radius. If it has a camera and a weapon or tool, it will use the tool as the targeting reference. No matter what you do, it will not use that camera if it has a block tool or weapon assigned to it. It will always use that weapon to target with. Because when I was experimenting with things, I stuck a large grid welder, one of the large small grid welders right at the end here. Was sitting back here, had it on friendly targeting. The welder couldn't see me, the camera absolutely could, but it got no response out of it. But now we can turn that on, turn the AI on, and if I go into the controller for this railgun, we can see how well the targeting actually works now. Take that off, put that on, take that off, put that on, and it should aim at me now. Hopefully. Or will it? AI on. Oh, I might have made myself untargetable. Have I done that? No, invulnerable. Rail unit. What are you doing? Did I forget to do something? Enable AI. Target friends. Ah, there we go. So yeah, you can see the rail cannon can now use that targeting reference and fire the gun itself. Oh, hey Jack Riggs. How you doing, man? Yeah, so that kind of works, but you can see it's aiming from there, so it's actually aiming below me. So like I said, if I wanted that targeting to be more precise, I would have to move the welder down a little bit. I did try sticking the welder in there, or putting a big line of blocks at the end so the welder was sticking out at the end, and that's when I discovered the little weird jiggly thing. If you put the targeting reference on an extra subgrid from the two that is supposed to be controlled by the turret, it just does this weird little jiggle where it can't quite figure out where its target is, so I had to move it back there. And obviously, because I'd removed a 3x3 block from the centre there, I had all this space, so I stuck in some more railguns. So now it has 8 per rail cannon that fire in unison. And I've built 2 of them now. So there's one that side, and there's another one this side. and I designed it to be as accessible as possible from either there or the floor or wherever. So yeah, there's 2 of them now. And they both work fairly well. So, my plan... No! Christ, forgot about that. Right, his AI needs to turn off. I don't need him shooting me. There we go. Turn that off. Oh, no. I've done something silly with the controls, haven't I? What have I done? Have I put a control in there to turn the AI on and off? Rail seat controller R01 L01 actions. Nope. Do I turn the AI? Why is your AI turning back on? It says it's off there. Oh, that's the wrong cannon. Dumbass, that's why. AI, am I doing the wrong one? No, it was just that one that I did wrong. Right, that turn off. You go out there. Stop shooting at me. We good? Right, so what I wanted to do today was build some more stupid weapons, more elaborate things in this kind of vein, but not like this. I've got 2 big, ridiculous rail cannons. I'm happy with having them there. So I've prepared a couple of platforms to try out some ideas, and I've also set up some basic sentry guns that I've just straight copied and pasted from the mobile base Mark 1, but they can all be set up later. Right now, I want to try and build more super weapons. Missiles, I am thinking of trying to incorporate this somehow, or something like this. Because this is a vaguely printable AI missile system I developed. Like the whole platform and rotor and hinge, that can all go, but all the actual programming for it is all in that top section. So I'm thinking of trying to incorporate that somewhere at some point. Maybe on these 2 center ones, possibly. But for the moment, what I would like to do is build. I've got an idea for a ridiculous salt cannon type thing I'd like to make. Safest way to pipe that in. You know what? That absolutely needs more support than that. But yeah, my plan for today is I want to do a big assault cannon type thing. Let's just put that there for a second whilst I put that out and stick in some piping, because I've been slowly starting to figure out where some of the conveying is going to go in this design. Like, I tend to, like I said before, make a cool shape, stick some cool stuff on the outside, and then try and figure out how to route it as I go. And I'm getting there now. We've got a bit of a design for these landing pads to feed down into these landing pads, so they are all connected. And then I just need to figure out the routing to get it to the rest of the ship. Because these bays with the mechs are now tied into the conveyor system on this floor. And that's routed into the rail guns up there. And I've just got a basic container at the back with a bunch of ammo and stuff in it at the moment. Because I have no idea about actual cargo storage right now. But we're getting there, bit by bit. So for now, I just want to chuck in some conveyor routing for these new things. Because I want to actually make sure I can pipe them up sensibly before I start building them. Or going too mad with the building. Not the wrong way. And that, and that. Oh, hey, Joe. How are you, man? How you doing, dude? Right. So, they're piped up. So, yeah, I wanted to do... some strange assault cannon type thing, because I enjoy making small grid weapons to stick on large grid builds, because I'm not a massive fan of the large grid turrets. Not that there's anything particularly wrong with them, just it's kind of, you just kind of slap on a turret and there you go. And there's not much fun in building when using the large grid turrets. Whereas trying to think of ideas to make strange small grid turrets is far more interesting to me. And I would like it if we could get... I'd really, really, really like it if we could have a 3x3 version of these car seats. Because we've got a 2x2 and a 3x3 bike. And that's cool. But I really want a 3x3 version of these car seats. Where are they? There they are. I'd love a 3x3 version of that. With a connector in the bottom. But alas. I'll just use that again. In fact, I'm going to do this. I want to take this kind of idea. What did I do with that? Yeah, so we had that, and then... Oh, you know what, in fact, I'm going to take that colour as well. Because it obscures all the hideous yellow bits. Actually, that one. So you can stay that colour for now. What's that you're saying, AJ? You're hyped for the update and just released your first mech. Oh, have you? Oh, leave a link in the comments on this stream and I'll have a look at it. I like looking at other people's mechs and seeing what they're doing. How they're doing it. But yeah, I'm quite hyped for the new update as well. I'm annoyed that I have to wait until after the weekend to get it. I was hoping they'd release it this week. But that's just me being selfish and greedy. I want my new toys now. And I want to, like I said before, I'm mostly interested to see what all of the, or what new cosmetic blocks we get with this update, other than just the prototech bits, or if it's just the prototech bits. I'm curious to see if there's going to be any variants of blocks we already have, as I always like to have a little bit of variety and other things to play with. Right, so for this cannon, I want to do something a bit more daft. Oh, you know what, in fact, there's lots of things I just want to use that are exactly the same as that other seat. I'm going to cut all this off. I'm just going to nick one of them and retrofit that. Because that's already got all the bits on it that I need. I just need to change the gun configuration. Oh, because that's in the way. Yes, right. So, get rid of that garbage. Don't need that right now. Those blocks are weighted in such a strange way. Right. So, the idea I've got is like anti-aircraft cannon type thing with big assault cannons on them. So I'm thinking of doing potentially, where around is that? Something like that, and then we'll have a bit of a space, and then we'll have another one here. Like that. And then there'll be 4 cannons sticking off of that. But like always, I can't help but add subgrids, because subgrids are fun. And basically, what I would like to do copy all. Paste that. So, the idea I've got is I want to make a big cannon, because these beauties actually have why not? Oh, I didn't do that one. Assault cannons actually have a conveyor port on the back of them. Recoils. Exactly, Jack. Exactly. Because I've played around with this kind of idea before. And the idea is basically have a load of cannons like that. Let's have them opposite ways around at the top and bottom to make it match a little bit, make it a bit more symmetrical. And yeah, have something like that, that when it fires, it goes bam, like so. So it'll go bam, 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 like that kind of thing, is the idea. Obviously, when you start adding lots of weight onto pistons, you need to adjust some of their settings a bit, but yeah, that's pretty much going to be the idea. And that would need some shear inertia tensor, there we go. Yeah, I just have that, and I'm debating whether or not to have like a 2-step sequence, so like the top 2 go bam, and then the bottom 2 go bam, or have all 4 go round in a sequence like the railguns and have it go bam, 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 bam. Not sure. Should we do it in pairs, or should we do it individually? Oh, if it's on the Mech Engineers Discord, I'll find it. Not a problem, dude. I'm on there fairly regularly. I will have a nosy. Yeah. We do it 2 at a time, or should we do it... You know, I think I'm going to do it 2 at a time, so it's a bit different. 2 by 2, yeah, that's what I reckon, Jack. Because these have got a shorter recharge and reload time than the railguns, so we could do the same thing and set it up with a single mouse click. Like the railgun. Do diagonal. I could do diagonal. To be honest, top left, bottom right, the other 2. Oh, hello, Felty Chameleon, by the way. Hello. I could do. To be honest, I do kind of prefer the idea of them in pairs, top to bottom. But there are plenty of other places to build other super weapons, so I might do something with a diagonal crossfire kind of thing on something else. Because at some point I would like to do something really, really stupid. And do a similar kind of thing to what I'm doing here, but with the artillery cannons, the large grid artillery cannons. So I might use your diagonal fire idea for that big beast. Because I'm debating where to build something like that. Well, yeah, I think I'll use that for that, and do the 2x2 one for these. But yeah, I am going to do some really stupid things on this one, see what I can get away with. Oh yeah, other mod that I had to add to this build, because things are getting a bit silly. I had to add the super hinges and rotors mod, which is also available on mod.io. Well, we will experiment with the recoil on this first, and we will see what happens, because I do know that the assault cannons do have quite a bit of recoil on them, particularly if you're firing more than one at a time. So it may well end up that we have to use that idea in the end anyway, because you might be right. The recoil of the top one might make it go up in the air, depending on how strong we can make that rotor down there, and the hinge rather. Right, so let's set up some stuff for now. Get rid of that. We'll call this... We'll just call it Assault Cannon Control Seat, and we are front left, because I intend to build one of these on these 4 outermost positions, and there is a pair of them either side, and then the 4 inner ones will have something else. Maybe the missile launcher system. What's that? Doing stupid things is fun. Yes, it is, Jack. Sorry, Aja. Jack, what are you saying? Alas, 'tis true. The recoil will push it round. That's the problem that one of my mini Walker drones that I did has. This dude. His biggest problem is when he fires both his guns at the same time, it throws him back about 6 feet. So, yeah, they do have a surprising amount of recoil for the size of them. Right, next important thing, we will need a sensible position for our targeting reference, which is going to be another one of Azimuth's lovely small welders. And I'm going to stick it right up top, like that, so it can clearly see everything. I think I'll do a different kind of display setup on this one, because this one's cool, but it makes sticking the targeting thing in difficult, and without fully redesigning this, I'm not really going to change that on that for now. So we'll start differently with this one, and we'll put a cool LCD screen in somewhere else. So that can be a salt cannon. Bigger, what's the one? FL01. What's that you're saying, Felty Chameleon? I wonder if you could put the gun itself on 2 double hinge arms so it's somewhat free to move back. When it fires, I just have a little torque on them so they auto-return. You can do things like that. It's something I might experiment with later. But I've already got a pretty solid idea of what I want to do with this one. But I'm always up for trying out people's suggestions. So I might have a go with that one later on. So we've got a trigger, and we've got a camera, which Build Vision will eventually let me see. There we go. Camera assault. Spell it right. FL01. Right. So we'll have assault piston. FL01. And what did we do with that? Oh yeah, we need to make that a little stronger, because it's going to be fighting some recoil and shifting a decent amount of mass once I'm finished with it. And we go in, hopefully, 5 meters a second without clanging too much, so we can go nice and quick. I'm not hearing any clanging, any bangs, seeing any sparks. Oh yeah, definitely Felty Chameleon. It does sound like an interesting idea. I have tried to build like little recoil systems for things before with varying success. They mostly just end up looking cosmetic more than anything, but yeah, it's definitely an idea I will keep in the bank for later. So let's put that on for now, because that's going to help overall stability, hopefully. If I've got too much of it on all of them, it might cause a problem later, but I've called it an assault piston, because I can't spell piston. There we go. Right. That should be good to paste onto all these. Oh, we were going to do them in pairs, weren't we? So let's call them A and B. I'll make things a little bit simpler. B2. Oop, 2B. And then we do the same with these assault cannons. That can just be front left 01A. That could be 2A. Oop. Pressing shift when I don't need to. Can't wait for the update. It's going to add so much to the Vanilla experience. Yes, it will. I'm quite looking forward to the encounters system getting a big upgrade. Because I don't really do a lot of online multiplayer type stuff. I mostly just play single player when I even actually play it survival mode properly. And the biggest problem I always have is it gets quite boring unless you're in space, because the current encounter system only really does space stuff. But with the new one, it seems that it's going to have a lot of, or at least a few, terrestrial encounters, which is more my kind of thing. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it myself. Like I said, I'm mostly interested in what cosmetic blocks it's going to add, because I always like having new pretty things to play with and make my robots and stuff look more interesting. Right, so we've got... Oh, let's get rid of them signals. There we go. Got A, B, A, B. Right, that's cool. A, B, A, B. That's all of them. So, we need... What do we need to do? We need a controller to trigger that. We need to set up... Oh yeah, these hinges. They need naming and setting up properly. So let's give that 10 million torque for now, because it's going to be quite heavy in the end. Let's see how far we can lean back. Not very far with the way that's currently set up. So we might have to... let's put that out. That was only a placeholder. We can adjust that. But I do need that space because of the way the thing is shaped. In fact, actually, we probably won't even need that because we'll easily be able to reach the seat from the floor. Yeah, that'll be fine. We don't even need that. Right, we can lean that back a bit further then. We could actually go stupid, couldn't we? Yeah, let's go stupid. Let's go minus 45. Oh, I was looking at the velocity, not the angle. Idiot. Minus 45. There we go. We don't need that to be 30, that's insane. And if we tip forward, we'll call it 0 for now. And what does 25 look like? 25 is too much with that railing. But it's meant to be anti-aircraft, really, so... 20. Yeah, that'll be fine. That's a reasonable angle. Aim right up in the air. We can even make it aim even higher if we like, because we've got a lot of room to play with now. I've taken that out, so... I'll do minus 60. I can shoot right up into the air. Yeah. And then, what's that like? Maybe we'll have that free spinning. The only problem is, I don't want it to be able to turn around and blow holes in itself. So we might put some limits on that rotor. Oh yeah, Felty Chameleon, the sounds it makes when you drop something. Small grid blocks are very, very, well, in fact, the large grid blocks are just super dramatic. Like, it's just like the default large grid smacking into something sound. Even when you drop like the tiniest thing, it's ridiculous. It catches me out all the time. I think something's crashed and exploded, and it's literally like one of these drones slightly touching block, and yeah, it makes that dramatic sound. Right, so that looks good enough for now, so we'll call that Salt Cannon Hinge. Front left 0, 1. We're going to end up with a front left, a front right, a rear left, and a rear right. eventually. And this one gets to be assault cannon. Rotor front left, and we'll do the same with that. Basic settings for now, so 10 million torque. For now, minus 90 and 90 and see what that's like. So that can aim that far. I might leave it at that. Maybe a little bit further, so it doesn't end up blowing itself up. But like I said, we can adjust those settings later. Right, cool, so we'll stick that there. Take that out of there. Put that back to about there. Right, cool. Look at what you're saying. Hey Jet, that rock face behind you looks like the face needs fizzled into it. Well, we can do in a bit. Oh yeah, it has got a Rushmore kind of vibe to it, hasn't it? Right, so things are named for now. We can build other bits later. So we've got camera, we've got a trigger, we've got hinges, we've got guns, we've got pistons. So I need one event controller for the trigger. I need to set up the turret, and I need at least 2 event controllers to do the pair of barrels moving. And then I need to think about how I want this to actually fire, what we want it to actually do. Right, that one there is going to be the control unit for the assault cannon, front left 01. If I'm lucky, the bits I need will be in here somewhere, really easy to find. I really want a search function for this menu, because when you build stuff with this many subgrids, there it is, it starts to get complicated. Oh, picked the wrong thing, idiot. Assault cannon hinge, which means that one is the assault cannon rotor. Where is that? There it is. Right, so we want that to be the trigger for the gun rather than any of those assault cannons themselves. We'll have it target characters. I'll have it target me. That way I know that it can aim properly. Oh, and so we know that we have started setting up this turret. I'm going to just quickly do, where is it? That's a little reminder that I need to come back and edit that screen a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Right, they can aim at me. It's pretty good. It's a good start. Right, so the AI is working. Fantastic. Oh, one thing I need to check. Well, if the targeting is working, it should be working, but yeah, there you go. You can see the little red light on the welder clicks on when I get in, when it can actually see me. There you go. Red light is on. Red light is off. There you go. That means it's turning the welder on and off. And that action there, turning that on and off, is going to be what triggers this weapon. Right, so we're going to have 4 of these things. Where shall I put the event controllers? Directly behind the turret is probably a good idea. So, we can build... What do we need? We need at least one to trigger it. And 2 for the firing mechanism. Might, you know, I'm just going to stick that there. I'll figure out a better place. Right, so... OCD making me do things. Do it like that. Right, so that can be controller, assault cannon. That is not how you spell trigger. Assault cannon trigger, front left, 0, 1. And we will, while we're here, set up the controls for the other ones, because otherwise I end up with 20 random event controllers with random numbers, and I don't know what any of them were intended for. So I will set up all bits I need as I go to build the other weapons later. Right, so that is going to be the trigger, and that is what is going to activate the whole thing. So when that fires, I need it to perform an action that can be detected by event controllers and trigger stuff. How should we do it? How should we do it? Oh, I know how we do it. So in that case, let's take that out. So I can name that controller. Does not have 3 L's. Assault piston FL01. Like that for now. And then we'll have 2 for each piston. So what my idea is to have the trigger oh, in fact, actually, I have the trigger. Oh, actually, no, because I need the reset system. Yeah, so we'll have a trigger, fire the first set of guns, and reverse the first set of pistons. And then the event controller can detect the piston position. And when it gets all the way back, it can push those pistons forward and reverse the bottom set. And then the next event controller will also detect the piston position. And when the bottom sets retract all the way, it will push them back out and start the reset timer, which will stop us from firing the system again until the guns are reloaded. So I think I'll do it that way. That gets to be rear right. And that gets to be front right. So yeah, so we need a second event controller. Which will be number 2. that was the wrong button. Don't need that. Can be rear left. That one could be rear right, and that one could be front right. And we will do, well, I'll probably do all three of them off stream later once I've got this first one up and running. Bum 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 bum. Yes, your AI definitely works, doesn't it? Cool. Right. Let's put some controls in here. So we'll have that control setting. That can be AI on and off. That can be the camera on and off. And that can be the camera view. And that's about all I need for that, so I can take control. Re-listen carefully. You can just about hear that welder clicking. So, let's play with some assault cannon bits then. So, the assault cannon trigger controller is going to be set to block on and off, and it is going to look at this assault cannon trigger, and when that turns on and off, which it does when you click the mouse when it's equipped to a turret controller, we will get it to retract these two pistons. So we'll have that retract and that retract, and we will have it shoot once and shoot once. So obviously there's no ammo in it yet, but when I click that button, there you go, you see those have retracted. So, what we need to do with the assault cannon controllers, there we are. So what we're going to do with that is piston position less than, and let's leave it on 0 for now. And we will look at those two pistons, and when they are at 0, they will extend themselves back out and retract the next set, and then fire the next set of guns. So let's put those pistons where they were. Move around. There we go. That's adjusted them. There you go. You can see the AI is using that trigger when it aims at me. So then what we need to do is put in a timer for the recharge cycle, because we need a timer to stick in that other controller. There's a FL02, because we need to do the same thing with that one. Needs to be piston position less than those two pistons. Gate it so it does both at the same time when both of them get there, and then that will extend them back out, and then it will start a timer that we need to build. to redo all of this. Let's put all of them back out again. So I can take control of that. There you go. So that's how it's going to fire. Bam, 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 like that. But obviously, you can't fire assault cannons that quickly because they've got quite a big reload time. Ooh, might need to... Yeah, it sounds like it's scrubbing. I have to change that angle a bit. It is meant to be. Anti-aircraft rather than anti-ground. Because I've noticed these railings have a weird collision field. Their collision field is way above what their actual visual model is. I noticed that whilst building that thing, it was scrubbing on invisible stuff that was 3 feet away. Right. That sounds fine. Right, cool. So, I tied you into the thing down here, didn't I? But there's currently no ammunition being fed into that system yet, is there? Where's that going? That's going down there. That isn't actually tied into anything yet, is it? No, let's just stick a cargo container on there for now. Because we still need to figure out a lot of the conveying. So there you go, there's some assault shells. There you go, those assault shells. Hello, mortars. Oh, there you go, those guns work. There you go, that works. Right, we need to time how long the recharge cycle is for these damn guns. That's the wrong thing. So, I've got assault cannons. I usually play in survival mode with creative tools turned on, and the reason I do that is if you play in survival, if you play purely in creative mode, ammunition, power, and conveyor routes and thrust output mean absolutely nothing, and it is really, really, really easy to accidentally build conveyor routes that don't connect up to things, and you only discover that when you try and paste it into a real game, and nothing's connected. And I've learned that from personal experience. And also, when you build in creative mode, you don't actually get any realistic idea of what its power consumption or output is. I'm sorry if my microphone sounds a bit weird. I don't know if there's much I can do about that. But yeah, also if you use creative mode all the time, you will not get a good idea of what power and fuel your thing's going to need. Because again, thrusters don't need power or hydrogen in creative mode, and conveyor routes don't mean anything in creative mode. So you can end up building stuff that when you try and play with it in a survival game, can't even run or get off the ground. Particularly with things like thrusters. If you build flying things in creative mode, you can the most common thing you'll find is you haven't put enough power into that creation, and when you drop it into a survival game, the power just redlines and doesn't get off the floor. Right, so let's have a quick set up the wrong thing. Let's quickly Let's shoot that. Is that the right button? So if I fire that, it takes 5 seconds to reload, apparently. 1. Right, so it doesn't have a recharge time like the railguns that I need to account for. Does my microphone really sound that weird? Let me just try and check my own stream and see if it's sounding weird on your end. Yeah, just had a look at it. I might have been leaning a little bit too far forward. I've got a new microphone, and it's tinny and crap. So as long as you can all hear me, though. Oh, sad. I might have just been leaning too far forward slightly, and the mic wasn't capturing properly. So what was that then? That was 5 seconds and a bit. Oh, it's 6 seconds. Right, well, we'll call it 6 seconds then. Sorry, Mortys, I might have been too close to the microphone then. It was probably a bit of both. Oh, sound. Yeah, I was probably just a little bit too close. Because I recently upgraded to a, like, fairly decent boom arm type condenser mic rather than the crappy little Xbox headset that I was using. And I'm still adjusting to having a great big microphone in my face rather than a tiny little headset. The headset was quite restrictive. So yeah, that's 6 seconds and it doesn't need a reload time, it just can go straight back in after 6 seconds. Okay, settle down. Right, that can turn off. You settle down. Professional, sort of. Right, so we need a timer to... In fact, we need 2 timers. We need a fire timer, so we can turn off our ability to press the button. Because at the moment, we can use that to fire the button, but we can still press the trigger to do that, and then end up breaking the damn pistons. So, we don't want that. What we want to do is to create a little failsafe so that we can't actually do anything with that trigger until the gun has reloaded. Just turned on the stream. Can just explain what exactly you want to achieve right now. Oh, sorry. What I'm achieving is I am attempting to make more custom AI controlled weapons that have moving parts in them, like the railguns that I made in the last stream have a single click burst fire spinning barrel kind of action. So it literally takes one little mouse click to do that. It's got a little recharge system there, and when it gets to green you are ready to go again. And it's set up with a fail-safe so that you can't fire the gun or spin that barrel or use it in any way until the weapon is fully recharged. There you go. So soon as the light is green, you can fire it again. And I'm just attempting to do a similar thing, but in a slightly different way with this. But this one should be much easier to achieve, and then I can put some time into trying to greeble it and make it look nice. Also, am I using any mods or add-ons? Oh, all of these computer blocks in the middle are entirely vanilla. These are event controllers that came with one of the updates. I can't remember which one, because I have all of them. These are all vanilla blocks. You've got event controllers, timer blocks, turret controllers, or custom turret controllers. The only mods in this particular save file are these tiny tool blocks. They are Azimuth's tiny tools, and like I said at the beginning of the stream, they are literally just a one-for-one down scale of the large grid tools, because the small grid tools we have are all absolutely massive and a bit much, a bit too big for trying to do compact weapons with. Automaton's DLC, was that the one? Yeah, I knew it was one of them. Like I said, as soon as a new add-on or update comes out for Space Engineers, I get it straight away, so I can never remember what came with what specifically. Oh yeah, we never got around to doing the timer, did we? So we need two timers, we need a fire button we can turn on and off, and we need a reset button. Let's put... we'll just put it right there. So that one... what are we doing? There we go, so we can have... we got a gap up there as well. Yeah, we'll just do it here for now. Right, so even more things we need to rename. Is that the right one? Yeah, it is. Alright, so that can be assault cannon, front left 01, fire. In fact, no, I don't want to respawn. Wrong button. I'm going to call it trigger instead. So we will turn that on and off when the recharge cycle is going, and that way we won't be able to fire the gun by mistake and break it while it's firing. Right, that can be copied and pasted, so I don't lose where I'm up to later. In fact, we'll name it that way instead, so it's easier. Dun 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 dun. Trigger. Trigger. There we go. Ah, that was the wrong button. I've just noticed the music's still off from when I was recording videos. There we go. Thought it was a bit quiet. Right, that can be rear right, and then that one, yeah, that's definitely the right one. That can be front right. And then we will have a reset, or reload control rather. So assault, not with a K, cannon, reload, reload, front left 01, and that will be on a 6-second timer. And that should hopefully be... Oh, I just named the wrong block. Right. And that should be enough time for the gun to reload and not let us break it. You are that. I need to be paying attention properly to what I'm doing. There we go. So that one go there. And that will be reload rear left. That one will be reload rear right, and then that one will be reload front right. Right. That should be the bits we need for now, until we figure out we've missed something. Right, and I'll set this up. In a minute I'm going to go and grab a cup of tea while we'll set this up. Salt. Trigger. There we go. That's the one. Right, so that... that needs to be that turning on and off, I think. How did I do it on the railgun? Rail cannon trigger. It's the rail cannon trigger. And that does the first fire button. And the first fire button rail cannon fire L01. What did you do? Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. I remember. So, what we need to do... what's that, Jack? Have I seen the sneak peek videos some streamers got to show off? I've seen some of them. I've watched a few of them. I've seen a little bit about some of the non-prototech stuff, but most of the sneak peek videos I've seen have all been about the prototype bits, and they do look cool, particularly that that dead internet signal. Oh, damn it. Oop, my internet signal just took a shit. Right, fantastic. I might need to swap over. Give me 2 seconds. It might be that time of the night. But yeah, you little dick. And we are back, I think. Want to play nice internet? There we go. It's kind of sorting itself out. Maybe a little bit. Sort of. Ugh. Damn it, internet is terrible. Yeah, the new thrusters do look cool, and I'm quite intrigued by them. Just sit on my lap, you stupid tiny cat. Oh no, it's on my side, I think. My internet signal just took a crap. Because other people have just come home from work and have started rinsing these. So, yeah. Hopefully that will sort itself out in a minute. So what were we doing? Trigger. Assault cannon. That trigger down there. Ugh, bloody internet. Come on, sort yourself out. So that would oh, I didn't see that there was a new cockpit. I've obviously not seen that video yet. Oh, come on, internet, sort yourself out, please. Right, is that any better? There you go, that looks like it's playing nicely again. Everything's in the green, the drop frames are going down. Oh, is it in the stream announcements picture? Oh, sound, right, it's just a little thing we've had a glimpse of, but no actual previews of. Fair enough. Oh, that'll be interesting then. Right, so this trigger button, now we need to change that. We need to take these controls out. And we're going to put them into the new trigger timer, which is that one. And what we're going to do is we will have this timer trigger, and then it will turn itself off. In fact, no, we'll set the timer itself to turn itself off. What's that you're saying, Felty? You don't like the look of the new turrets we've seen? To be honest, all I've seen of the new turrets is vague, blurry pictures from a distance, and like I said before, I don't really care much for turrets. And nor does my internet connection care for me. Come on. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm not really too fussed about the turrets, really. Like I said, I'm more interested in cosmetic blocks, particularly things that I can use to make my builds look pretty. Right, so this timer now is going to be the first action in that, like you're saying, they look much better than the current small grid rocket launcher and Gatling. Yeah, as long as they look cooler. Yeah, there's quite a few old blocks really that can do with an update now. Turrets, definitely. Antennas, definitely. We need more small grid antennas, desperately. Right, so this is now going to retract and retract and shoot and shoot that, and then it should turn itself off so that we can't accidentally trigger it again. And then we need to set up the reload timer. You'd love a bigger small grid antenna. Yeah, the two things I would really like in small grid is I'd like that huge stonking satellite dish. I'd like a small grid version of that, and I'd really like a small grid version of the new compact antenna that came with the signal update, because that looked really cool and would be perfect for my small grid Tachikoma builds, because they're currently using a little antenna mod to have the little stalk antenna on the top of their main chassis. But small grid version of that new compact antenna, that new vanilla one, would be absolutely perfect for that, and I really want them to do one of that. And I keep bringing it up in streams, hoping that someone at Keen is listening and might do that. Right, so then the reload timer, we need to sort that out, so that will turn itself on. And then it will start. What's that, Asia? Honestly, they need to go back and rework a lot of the old block designs. Yeah, I mean, again, I reckon they should probably do that, rather than, like, bringing out updated ones, maybe just remodel the old ones and give it a bit of an overhaul. But, I don't know. Some people might not be into that. And depending on how they remodel them, they might end up causing a lot of collision issues. But yeah, they should definitely rework some of the older stuff to look more modern, because all of the newer stuff, all the designs for it are really cool and look really detailed. Then you look at the old blocks next to them and just kind of go, eh, they're a bit meh. So, right, now we need to do the reload timer. So that is going to be 6 seconds. And what that is going to do is, what do we need to do realistically? We need to make sure all of these pistons are extended back out, because that is the key to this whole thing working. And we need to make sure that the trigger button for the assault cannon is definitely turned off, so that we oh no, because that's coming back on. We need that to turn that back on, because that's going to turn our trigger back on again, so that we can fire again, because the trigger is turning itself off. So that'll turn back on. We should be able to fire again. And then we can have the reload cycle timer turn itself off again to prevent any conflict. So hopefully, if I stick the trigger button on and off on here, and the reload, I keep spelling that wrong, reload button on there, on and off, we should be able to see that in action. So, fire, that turns the trigger off, so we can't do anything. And then after 6 seconds, there we go, fire again. And after a few seconds it will, there we go, the reload turns off, the trigger is back on. Cool. So, what we could do with is some kind of lighting to indicate to us when we're ready to fire again. I'd like to have a little light for, rather than having a big charge-up light like the rail cannons have, because you don't really need that, I'll probably have a red light for reloading and a green light for ready to fire again, and leave it at that. Just have this one a bit more simple. What's that, Felty? You want a large 3x3... Oh, you have no idea how much I want a large grid 3x3 hinge and a large grid 3x3 rotor. Like, those are two of the things I would like more than anything. That's why I basically had to build my own large grid hinges out of the rotors we have to make this thing work the way it does, because the hinges weren't going to cut it. But yeah, believe me, I want some large grid 3x3 hinges and rotors more than anything. Right, that's been about an hour and a half, so I'm going to quickly go and grab a cup of tea, and I'll be back in a few minutes. So, let's see, I've done a few bits of adjusting to the display screen up there. I've put another row in and moved some things around. So I should be able to, there we go, deploy the wing drones. They've got their own little system now for coming out the floor. I've built a little bit of railings around them just to help you stop falling down the hole. Can this thing walk? Yes, it can. I will quickly go and show you that before I go and grab my cup of tea. Yes, let's not launch them yet. Yeah, it can walk. It's got a... where are we? That side. It's got a bunch of thrusters on this control seat that do the forward, backwards, and left and right turning. And if I go all the way out here, and hit the W key, it's a bit slow right now. Well, it looks a bit slow because it's so bloody big. And I do need to adjust its walk cycle a little bit. But it can walk. It can move forwards of its own accord. That's me holding the W key. And if I let go, it will... Ooh. What have I done there? It will stop. And because it's using thrusters to project itself forward, if you increase the override on the thrusters, you can basically set up with like an auto walk feature. Like I said, I still need to tweak the walk cycle a bit. It's got a few bugs in it. And I'm pretty sure there's some loose small grid blocks somewhere because it keeps making big dramatic clanging noises. But it does walk. And it can get up to about 10 meters a second. To be honest, that might even be the loading ramps on the light deck clanging about and wobbling while it's walking. But yeah, it walks. And it can climb up hills, just about. And if we take that all the way back down, it can stop again. Still need to set up its reverse walk cycle, but it's got controls to make it turn left and right as well. But the heavier it gets, the more I need to adjust them, so I might need to add some more gyros into its turn system. But yeah, it works. First thing I do when I'm building a mech is make sure it can walk, and then do all the rest of it from there. And for now, I will release the drones, and hopefully they won't all crash and do stupid things. Go on, don't be daft. Just fly up and out of the way. Move out of the way of the walls. Don't crash into them. Those two are doing alright. Those two are being a bit daft and crashing into each other, but... you know, you can fly up and go over it, mate. Yeah, I just need to make some tweaks to their AI settings, because I think I need to offset them all a little bit, so they kind of compete for the same airspace occasionally. But once they're spread out, they're alright. They're not too bad. I also need to build the launching sequence to release all of these drones simultaneously. Someone's being stupid. But for now, while I nip and get my cup of tea, you can watch this guy fly around for a little bit, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Right, we are back again. So that took slightly longer than expected. Just needed to feed my cats as well. Right. So where were we? We were playing with this assault cannon. It seems to work pretty well now. And that gun, that takes a few seconds to reload, and then it all switches back over. So now it's functional, let's make it look cool. So what can we do? What can we do? We need some lighting to indicate to us when it's reloading. I want to cover these guns a little bit with a bit of armour plating, which I will match to the overall colour, because I want to do a big barrel thing, something like that, over the end of these, rather than just having the guns exposed. I mean, I know this armour plating doesn't do a whole lot, but it looks nicer. Something that does that. And we'll do the opposite down here. Right. Let's just start nicking that design for now. Or should we do something slightly different? Yeah, let's do something a little bit different. I know something I'd like to do, but I'm going to sort that out in a second. So, I might just not do that. So, one of them there. And one of them. There and there. We can build these both up as we go. We can have that, that, that. Yeah. Do something like that. And then we get to this block at the end. Where are those pointy ones? Not that one. No, I want to do this differently. Yes, yes, so dramatic. Nope. Not like that. I want to glue it onto that bit there. That's the one. Take that off. That's the wrong piece. That's the one. And then we can have that. Yeah, I like that. Well done. I'm sure your height settings are supposed to change when you take off. AI drones. Oh, hello, engineered coffee. Cheers, man. Thank you very much. Currently in the middle of building some more ridiculous subgrid weapons. Yep, I think I hit him. Yeah, he didn't like that. That's why I have damage turned off when I'm experimenting with ideas. You do still have to be careful though, because when I was testing out the rail cannon, I accidentally shot a couple of the wings off, because even with damage turned off, rotors and hinges and things can end up receiving so much force from things that it just snaps the rotor and hinge heads out of their housings. So you do still have to be careful, even with creative mode settings. Are you still trying to crash into that? Whatever. Anyway, where were we? We were building up this side here, because I want to do more stupid things. Oh, damn, I built that one the wrong way. Oh, we can change that, that'll be fine. So I want to actually build them that way. Where are we? That's not the right one. That's the one. That can go there. That can go there. We need to stop this from falling apart when I change stuff. So let's pop a couple of them in there for some extra connection points. Let's turn mirror mode off. There we go, I can chop that off without everything falling to pieces. What's that? You're saying I'm doing a coffee? You like the guns, the tips remind you of the arachnids from Starship Troopers. Yeah, it's kind of a shape I sort of figured out when I was actually building a Starship Troopers inspired robot. If you go back and watch one of my mini mech base streams, I've got some arachnid style AI mechs I've been working on that I really need to go back and do some more work on, because I want to publish them at some point. Yeah, I did, Adria. Yeah, that's the one. Right, that and that. Oh, that can go back on. Oh no, it can't. Hang on. Because I want to change that one to that. And that one to that and that. And we can put that back on, and that is the wrong place for that one. Divvy. That can go there. That can go there and there. And that one in the middle I'm going to cover up, because I've got a plan for the one on the outside. Just, there we go. There we go. Right. Oh yeah, you can go find the video now if you want, man. It's one of the mini mech streams. It's probably one of the ones in the middle of that playlist. It'll be in some of the later episodes, unless I've got a blueprint for it. Oh yeah, I've got a blueprint for it right here. Don't even need to go and look for that video. It's right there. Can't remember how recent that blueprint is. There you go. Recent enough that the AI works on it. Obviously the arachnids in Starship Troopers only have 4 legs, but I decided to give this one 6 because I wanted to give this one 6. And it's got some little Gatling gun arms and a big assault cannon nose. And it can be turned on and off. and it can just sit there for a little bit. Yeah, just leave him down there for now. Right, so... Oh yeah, I need to finish doing the paneling on the side of these two. And then I can add one of the stupid ideas in. So we went... How far did we go? That far. Oh, cheers, engineered coffee. Oh, yeah, cheers, man. Walk cycles are a tricky one. There's a few kind of general like rules you can use to build them, but a lot of the time they're all kind of bespoke to the size and shape of the mech you're building. Because sometimes what works for one design doesn't work for another. And you can kind of build things too big and too small sometimes, but yeah, cheers man. It takes a bit of fiddling and lots of experimenting to get walk cycles working nice and clean. Right, so that's that. That's gonna have that in there, right. Cool, so that can be a little bit more covered up. And that still works quite nicely, like that. Oh yeah, a silly idea. Let's do that first before we get caught up in greebling, because we can do greebling all day long. There they are. I like doing silly things like putting exhaust pipes on things. So I can have big explosions and big flashes of light or fire. So that can be I'll just call it assault exhaust. Assault exhaust FL01. In fact, no. It needs to be 01A because it's going to match the guns. Copy all. That can be 2A. That one can be 1B, and that one gets to be 2B. And then we're gonna assault exhaust. We are gonna jump into these and make them little flames. So that when the guns fire, we'll get a little blast of flame out the side of the guns as well. So, what do we need to do with them? We'll start. We'll turn them all back off again. Assault. Trigger. So that first one is, we'll move that to the very end. That can turn itself off right at the end of its sequence. So I'll leave that there, leave that there, they'll do for now. Assault exhausts, we will have them, the first two, turn on and make sure the second two are turned off. Then the where is it? That one is going to do the next set of controls. Hang on, I screwed something up there. Oh no, I haven't. So yeah, that's where the second set of fire, and we've got 1, 2, 3 spaces left. It's not very much. Damn. Why is that in there? Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, we'll have to make a group, I think. Yeah, we'll have to make a group. For these two sets of exhausts, so let's name them properly then. Embase-03 Assault Exhaust. Because unfortunately, event controllers only have 9 slots in them, which isn't an awful lot. And I could go and put another timer in, I suppose. In fact, how much space have we got? In fact, we got loads of room, haven't we? Yeah, we got loads of space in there. Yeah, let's just do another timer. That way we don't have to mess around with having thousands and thousands of groups in the controller, in the control panel. And it's an excuse to fill up some of this space. What have we got then? We've got that's the trigger. That's the reload. Dum. Yeah, sorry, just put it there. Oh. Bang in the middle. Can't put it there. I will just put it behind there, that'll be fine. Do it like that then. In that case, we'll call the trigger block. We will actually call that fire. It'll make more sense. And we'll call that Fire FL02. And we'll do the same with all of these. So these all make sense. Right, so that's going to be rear left 02. Oh, sorry, Felty Chameleon, I didn't see your message there. Have you heard of Chebyshev's... I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not going to have my glasses on. Chebyshev's lambda mechanism. It rings a bell, but I can't say I'm familiar with specifically what it is. I think I've heard of it, but I'm not sure what it is. Is it some kind of physics principle, or a physics machine or something? that can be fire front right, and then that can be fire front right as well. Cool, right, so let's continue playing with this. So, assault, fire, 0-2, hang on, assault. Let's change the name of these, make them make sense. So we'll just have that set to fire, that set to fire, and it'll make it easier trying to see things, because I know all of these are just piston controls. I don't need them specifically labelled as a piston anymore. Right, so fire number 1. Oh yeah, that's going to be slightly confusing, isn't it? Yeah, oh well. So I need to reset the pistons, fire the second set of guns. It converts rotation into a very close to walking movement. The output moves in a straight line, and then it lifts slightly and moves back to the start once before rotation of input. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I've like I said, that does ring a bell. I will definitely have a look for more of that later. Because I like little physics machines and things like that. And little devices that simulate movements and things. Right, so that. Yeah. Oh, sod it. Let's do that. That's what that needs to do. That needs to retract that, extend that, shoot both of those guns, and then it also needs to turn itself off right at the end, and it needs to turn those off, turn those on. That should be that, I think. Right, so clicking the mouse fires that, and then that retracts the pistons, which is that controller, which is going to get all of that replaced with that, which will turn on and trigger, which will then fire the next set and turn itself off. And that... Oh, I've put those pistons the wrong way around. That needs to extend, that needs to extend, that needs to retract, and that needs to retract. So that when that triggers, that will extend those pistons back out and turn off, make sure all of these are switched off. I think that was it, wasn't it? Dumb. Oh, I think I need to rebuild the reload control down. No, it's all going well. No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Cool, so... Let me do everything properly then. Oh yeah, and that would actually want to be triggered. In that timer. Reload assault cannon FL01. We will want to turn that on there and start that there. Yeah, that's better. Cool. Right, that's working, and it's not kicking too badly. Oh yeah, I didn't actually have a look at the thing I was actually doing properly. Right, so, take control of that. Yeah, there we go, we got a little blast of fire out the side of the gun. What's that, Felty? It's cool, haven't found a good way to use it in Space Engineers yet, as it is somewhat large. But you feel it has promise. I'll have to have a look at it and see what can be done with it. I've seen some people build some very strange mechanical systems in Space Engineers before. I remember seeing somebody build a rope and pulley system with a big long string of hinges, and watching that video made me cringe, and it was so clangy. Right, so that works. It shoots fire out the side now. It's kind of what I wanted. I am going to paint the actual assault rifles rust colour though, because I hate seeing the yellow colour of the connectors. There we go, that's a little bit better. Right, so I wanted a light when it's recharging and a light for when it's good to fire again. And we could also do with, well, there's some big spotlights on it somewhere as well, so that it can light up its targets from a distance. What else can we do then? We'll put spots on top. We'll put them... we could put them at the side and between the guns maybe. I do want to greeble around the sides of these a bit. Right, let's do a bit of that now. In fact, let's take that colour. That might be a bit clangy. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. We can use armour panelling for the bit in the middle. And we could potentially do some of that for now. And what have we got down there? A slightly different shape. Do a little bit of that. And a bit of that in the middle. Actually, let's take that out. And just stick in a full block for now. Because what I'd like to do is put some spotlights on the side, so that in the dark a bit of a beam coming off it. Hello, Proto Eden. Clan Catapult. Yeah, something like that I remember seeing a while back. I remember seeing a video of someone making, like, proper, like, trebuchet with a big, terrifying string of hinges as the mechanism. Yeah, right, cool. So let's put a little bit of armour around this thing. Give me that colour, thank you very much. What can we do with it? Let's do... Let's do something like that for now to cover it up. And we can stick a little bit of that on the bottom edges. And where is the... There it is. Yeah, a little bit of that around the side for now. Might change that a bit later. Alright, so what's that view look like? That's not too bad. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's got a little two-step firing sequence. A little reloading cycle so you can't fire it too much and break it. And it uses a little tiny modded welder as a targeting reference for the AI. So if I flick the AI on, there you go. You can aim at stuff, and it can use that little welder as both the targeting reference and the trigger for the guns. So I've set them up with some event controllers. Only missed that time. And we'll turn that AI back off, and then I can use it myself. But a couple of things I still want to add into here. I want to add in some lights so that I know when it's reloading and when it's ready to fire again. And I want to add in another little subgrid screen thing, kind of like the display screen on these ones that folds down from overhead. But I want to make it slightly different and have it fold out from underneath and come up. So my options are, oh, I know what I could do. I could use the new inset light. I could stick that in there, couldn't I? Yeah, do that. So I can see that from there pretty easily. That's pretty good. What's that? Feels like it alternated 4 shots rather than 2. It would still need the reload, because even after the last gun had fired, it would still need the 6 seconds that it takes for an assault cannon to reload. And I could try and fiddle it so it could be a permanent cycle, but I'm happy with that. These have got a 4-shot, well, actually an 8-shot firing spinning barrel. So I'm quite happy with the rail cannons. There we go. Right, take control of that. That fires nicely. That unfortunately requires about 20 seconds to reload. Oh, it's something closer to 24, I think. But I'm quite liking the two-step sequence of that. Yeah. So we could have that as assault cannon. Assault cannon light. Need a space. Ready. And that can be. Oop. That can be bright green. So we're ready to fire. Stop it. When we're ready to fire, that light will start blinking. Front left 01, we'll put the right tag on there. To be honest, I'm quite happy with the little reload thing. I might try and make a more barrel firing, continuous cycle kind of thing at some point, but I quite like having the little bam bam, because it'd also mean adding a whole bunch more event controls and stuff into it, and I quite like the way this system works right now. But I do like that idea. I might use it for something else. And that can be the reload. Reload, I always spell that wrong. Reload, FL01. That will blink the opposite way. And it's going to be bright red. Cool. Right, you've stopped slowly turning. Right, so we need to add them into these controls. So, fire 01, when that fires, assault light, Oh yeah, the sequence would be possible with timers. It's definitely doable. I'm not dismissing the idea. I've just got these weapons set up how I want them to work right now. So that will... I'll turn both of them off. And then that one, fire number 2. That will make sure that is still turned off, and then it will turn on the reload light. And then when we get to the end and it triggers the reload timer, it will turn on the ready light and turn off the reload light. Let's give that a whirl. Fire. That's on, that's ticking away. And then when we are ready to go again, green lights are flashing. Let's do it in the dark. There we go, we can see red light blinking to the side. And we can see the timers at the bottom. And when it's ready to go, the green light is on. And we can't fire the gun until it's ready to actually reload. Really? Alright, I'll put the sun back on so I can see what I'm doing again. Oh, that's the sound of the drone crashing, making idiots of itself. Who's crashing and being stupid? Not you. Not you. What are you doing? Or was it you? Possibly. Yeah, whatever. Right. What else can we do to make this look a bit prettier? Right. Who's that crashing? Who's being stupid? Where are my drones entity list? What's that? Whatever that is can be removed. Not sure what they are. Where are my drones? You're the culprit. Yeah, I need to adjust your height settings a bit more, I think, when you take off. Because you're being an idiot. Oh, you were trying to dock, and you were trying to dock through the Mech, weren't you? Or were you? Where are you going? You buggering off? Nope, you were just being stupid. Fair enough. What's that, Proto Eden? Theoretically, you just have the current timer, and by turning on the next timer, activating said timer, then turn it off, preventing you from activating. Yeah, like I said, I can definitely do that. It's just, this is how I want to do these ones, so I'm gonna stick with that idea for now. Oh, still in spectator mode. Where did I go? There we are. Cool. Right, so that's in place. What about a little hinge monitor thing coming out the bottom? One hinge there. Want at least two. And what's that like when we fold that up there? That is probably not going to be high enough for me to see over that, is it? Oh no. Oh no, actually that's not too... actually it might be a bit too low. Let's see what happens when I put some blocks on it. I do one like that, and then put a hollow LCD on it. And it's a bit low. What do I do with the other one? That's dangling from above, isn't it? That comes in like that, and directly in front of my face. Yeah, so what if instead we tried... Where is it? The same block we've got over there. We'll do that, and then we'll do... Not that way. That way. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Assault cannon. Hood. FL01. Yeah, just put the hood. That can be flipped upside down. Stick script on it. We can use the in-game artificial horizon. Give it the same colour scheme as everything else. There we go. And then when we move around, it actually gives us sensible angle reading. Cool. Ah, crap, we need to go all the way down there. Right, so... yeah, let's bring that back a bit. If it's going too far in, it'll clang. That hinge head will scrub on that. Move that angle that way, and then stick that on a max. Oh no, that would want to be a minimum of -10, I think. Yeah, that's the one. Well, that like that. Show inertia sensor on there. That should be fine like that, I think. And that will be able to fall all the way back up like so. Or will it? We want to go the other way, actually. Because we can have this one. It's on 6, and reverse that all the way back. That will fold all the way down there, so we need that to go the other way. So that needs to be a maximum of -10, that needs to be -90. And we can have it sort of fold up like that. Right. Next, then we can set up a controller that makes them reverse out and move into that position when you jump into that seat. And then when you get out of it, it can fold them back up again. That's going to work, so that can be salt. I'll just call it a salt hinge. FL. Assault hood hinge. FL01. And that can be salt hood hinge front left 02. Well done. What are you doing? Right. What is your... oh, I've got no power left. Oh, no, it's not power. Turned my signal off by mistake. Your minimum height is supposed to be 90 meters. Why are you coming down low enough to push into that? Sure, that's 60 meters. Right, so anyway, where were we? Oh, right, there we go. Right, front left, front left. And then we've got the HUD display. And we named the camera, and we named that. Right. I need to go and put in more event controllers. I need to build more lights in here at some point. Right, where can we fit more event controllers? There's a gap. And there's a gap. And there's a gap right in the middle. That's not really much use for anything right now. We'll stick him in there. In the middle, isn't it? Oh well, we'll have to start expanding out up there and build up more layers out there. So what do we need? Event controller. That can be controller, assault, seat, front left, 0, 1. That can be rear left, and then we'll build 2 more for the front and rear right ones. Front right and rear. Oh, that's not the right one. Where is it? One build vision, be nice to me. There we go. Oh, hey, human shores. What's that? You find a cool trick with the weapons, put them on a rotor and aim them in a few degrees. Oh, yeah, so they've got like converging shots. Yeah, I have done stuff like that in the past. I don't really want to add subgrids onto a piston that's moving at 5 meters a second. It's going to cause clang. I'm quite happy with the way they're set up at the moment. So that was going to be... Oh yeah, that was going to be rear right, wasn't it? Right, so that can be that, so that can be that. Let's jump back in that control seat. Right, so assault seat. Right, did I not name the front left one? Or did I... Oh, did I smeg up the wrong thing? Because of build vision. Yeah. Build vision looked straight through. I ended up renaming a 1 behind it. There we go. Right. There we go. Better. Cool. So... assault seat front left will be cockpit occupied. Assault cannon control seat is right there. So when we get into this thing, assault HUD. Oh, that's not how you spell assault. There we go. It will reverse and reverse that hinge, and then reverse and reverse that hinge, and turn that on and off. So when I jump out, it should fold up. And when I jump in, it should fold back up. And we can increase velocity on that a little bit. so it folds up a bit quicker. And deploys a little quicker. There we go, much nicer. Cool, and we've got our reloading light. And then we've got our ready to fire again light. Cool. Groovy. Cool. So we've got that little screen that folds up and down. And there we go. Now you can aim around like so, and then when you fire, you get some little fire out the side. Ah, cheers, Human Trolls. Yeah, it was an idea I came up with, like, as I was building it. I just thought, I want a bit of exhaust flash coming out the side of it. So cool. That works how I wanted it. So I'd like to try and cover a little bit of that. Oh, stop crashing, you idiot. I'd like to try and cover that a little bit. But I know from previous experience, putting blocks there might be a little bit of a problem with that hinge head. So, I'm going to try and cover it a little bit. With armor plating instead, and it would help if I put mirror mode on. That way we can cover it a little bit without it wanting to explode or do horrible things. Where's that? There it is. Yeah, there you go. That'll do. That makes me a little bit happier. Because you can try and cover these pistons a bit, but as soon as that all retracts in, it'll scrub against here and against the sides of these piston heads. They can be a bit scrubby sometimes as well, which is a bit annoying. Where is it? Is it that one? I put that there. Yeah, when that comes in, you can see they clip through each other. And that can and will cause problems. I used that one instead. I made it the wrong piston, that's why. There we go. Yeah, you can see that piston just about getting pushed down when it comes into contact with that armor plate. So that's as good as it's going to get for now. The drone is drunk. Yeah, the drones are a bit drunk sometimes. They just it's the AI. It's just the AI blocks. They're supposed to have a 90-meter height, but sometimes they decide to float all the way down here, which is something more like 60 meters, I think. So he shouldn't even be this low while he's flying. His minimum height is supposed to change between 90 and 30 meters, depending on how low his battery is. But yeah, the AI still has a few issues. It's not perfect, but And then nothing. And you know what? You can go because you're taking up sim speed. Right. So, I'll leave that like that for now. Then, what can we do here? See, now hinges are notoriously moody when you put things at the side of them, because the outside edges of their collisions are a bit temperamental. So let's put some of that down there, and then we can where is it? Do something like that, maybe. What can I do with that space? I'll just do something like that to cover that up a little bit. Add a little bit more armour to it. That way it's a little bit more protected. Right, I can stick a bit more armour around this then. Oh yeah, and that has to stick out by that much anyway. Damn, forgot about that. Oh yeah, that's the way it's piped in and I can't really change that. What should we do around the back of this then? So we need to have the back of it still accessible, otherwise you're not going to get into the seat properly. So I need to leave a bit of a gap there. What if we do? More drunk drones, being drunk and doing stupid things. Yeah, you can still access that, and you can reach it through the back of there, so that would be fine. Yeah, go with that. I might replace that with that. Another one of them there like that. What we do here. I'm just going to take that out and armour it. And I might just do the same here. Oh yeah, I want to cover this up a little. That won't be able to attach anything to the top though. So we could do that. Then we could where is that block? Not that one. Nope. That's the one. You stick that there, and we can take the pointy tip of the beam blocks. I'll stick that in the gap. Then we can go back to the armor panels, use the little one, and then we can use the big square one there, make a little cover for the camera. Who's crashing again? Yeah, it is you again. Your collision detection not even on. You're being very special. Come here. What your wife out? Why are you being stupid? Right, no, you've had your chance, I'm doing it for you. Stupid bloody drones. Some days the AI works great. Sometimes it's a bit janky and stupid. Right, you're connected. Yeah, I mean, it probably doesn't help as there's a whole buttload of things going on in this game now. Lots of AI and lots of stuff. All thinking. I mean, these two landed perfectly fine by themselves. He's flying around. I might have just slightly screwed up something in his programming, but get around to fixing that eventually. Right, so... Oop. Oh yeah, change with renaming some of these bits. Even though they don't actually do anything, but I still like to have everything named properly. No, that's front left 01, which means that one's wrong. Front left 02. That control seat. Yeah, we definitely named that properly. Right, so that works. And then green light, ready to fire again. Cool. And that means I can ultimately end up making that screen there. I can set that to targeting info. No, it doesn't need to be main cockpit. Because unfortunately you can't use the target info script on a subgrid. It needs to be on the same grid as a control seat, otherwise it doesn't seem to do anything. So that can be our locked target. when we find the target to lock onto. And then the HUD in front of us can be some sort of aiming device. It's pretty central to the middle of the guns. Would make it lower, but then it'd be a bit lower than our field of vision, and I quite like where that is because it's pretty much bang on in line with the in-game crosshair. Yeah, he's gone. He's out of targeting range. Damn. Cool. Okay. Is there anything else we can do to this gun to make it look more interesting? I think it's pretty much done. Unless... Ugh, drunk drones again. Where? What are you doing this time? You! Why? Why are you down there? You're not supposed to be able to fly that low. 90 meters. You're not supposed to be able to fly lower than you are right now. I'm pretty sure some of those controls in the AI blocks are basically meaningless. What's that, engineered coffee? Can someone tell your your boss to stop interrupting? Cheers, man. Yeah, I'm quite liking the little recoil action on them now, and you can easily reach the gun from the floor. We can target that, so we've got targeting information there. Fire our guns. I don't want to actually hit him because I don't want to blow his wings off by mistake. But then that engages the reloading, and then after 6 seconds it reloads, so it's not too bad. And if we want to, there is a camera at the top that we can activate if we want to be able to zoom in closer on our targets. You can turn that on and off if we want to. Now we can turn on the gun AI, and it can use the trigger to shoot at things. The only problem it has that I need to account for is if it doesn't break contact and the reload cycle spins back round, it won't fire again because the on button hasn't cycled round, so I need to probably stick in some timers that forces that to turn off again immediately after firing. There you go, that was a direct hit on me. Yep, he's pretty good at aiming. Good thing I'm invulnerable right now. Cool. Yeah, to be honest, I am fairly happy with the way that looks. Although, when I go to copy and paste it, I will need to lift that up out of the way. Oh, and also, those blocks are actually going to be a problem. Not right now, but they are going to be a problem when I try and copy and paste this onto another grid. Well, that looks pretty good for now, so if I reverse that, and reverse that. Oh, smeg, I can't just copy that, and I can't just copy that, because that'll do the entire thing, which I don't need another copy of. I only need a copy of the gun. Hopefully pasting this in won't crash the game. You can't get your drone to pay attention to elevation either. Yeah, I think it's just... Oh, there goes my sim speed. Yeah, I think it's just an issue with the AI blocks itself more than anything. Right, that can go. That can go. Boing. Pistons are incredibly bouncy. That can come off. That can come off. That can get copied. And I should be able to lay the groundwork for the rest of these assault cannons. Ooh, why, you know, let me paste that onto there. What's your issue? Oh, I know what the issue is. It's those two armor plates on the bottom of there. That's what the problem is. Yeah, loud noises. Because that and that are making the whole thing think it's a block deeper than it is. There we go. Yeah, because pasting things with armor plates on it can be really deceiving. Am I in the middle? Yeah. There we go. So, we can have one there, we can have one there. Oh yeah, I was going to get rid of this, wasn't I? Because that was totally in the way. Oh, shush. Oop, that was the wrong thing. Poked a hole in this ship. Oh yeah, the lag, it's probably more my end than anyone else's. Between the amount of sim speed this build is taking up and my persistent internet issues, it's probably more likely to be me than anybody else. Right, that can go there, and then we can paste another one of them onto there. And there'll be one more assault turret position over here. And those fucking drones stop crashing. Oh! Bugger. Copied and pasted that out, didn't I? Oh, you know what? I'll just take that out and put another one in. So I've not done anything with this side yet, so it doesn't really matter. That can be that. That can be that. That is in my face. There we go. And then we'll eventually have one more over here. And at some point I will set up all the controls for them so that there will be 4 of them, fully controllable with AI or with manually from the actual control seat. All that needs setting up, obviously. And at some point there's going to be some kind of access to actually physically get out here. I can't really route it through that wall because that is where all of the bits for the extra set of drones is going to live, and I don't really want anything getting in the way of that ramp as it comes down. So we'll end up having some kind of access somewhere eventually, maybe through there. Still got lots of internal planning to work out, but this one works pretty well. Oh yeah, I changed those so I could copy and paste stuff, didn't I? Let's put them back to the way they should be, so that when I jump in there, it works properly. Cool. Ruby. Where are we? We are there. Plastic. Doesn't look like in the dark you see anything sparking or clanging. Nope, just fire effects. I don't really see any sparks or anything stressing out too much. Ah, that looks pretty good to me. What's that, Asia? You can barely get your drones to drone. So you're taking notes. Yeah, I'll go back to the drones eventually and do a little bit more work on them. There's a few more drones I want to build on this thing. So I will go back to covering and messing around with the drone AI again. So you'll have an opportunity to take more notes. But yeah, that's been 3 hours, and it's quite late where I am, so I'm gonna call this one quits for now. And at some point I will probably off-stream set up the controls for the rest of these ridiculous things, and then we can have a think about what other weapon systems I'm going to put in here. Someone suggested missiles. There's a ridiculous artillery cannon thing I want to do. There's a whole bunch of ideas we could stick in here. Have all of our drones landed? Are they all recharging? Looks like everybody is recharging. So I can, with these controls, I can turn the drones back off so that their recharging system won't let them launch again, in theory. And if I fly back down here, hit that button. Oh, that one's wings aren't folded up properly. Oh god, that's close. Alright, so he can just about fit down there with his wings unfolded, but probably not a good idea. Why didn't your wings fold back up, dumbass? Oh well. Anyway, that can all fold back up. I still need to build the... there are loose bits knocking around on this thing. That's what's been clanging. What's that loose thing? Where was it? Ah, there it is. Have you been clanging around in there this entire time? Not anywhere else, are there? No. Right, so eventually I do need to build a retracting system for all of these little drones. Because I've not got round to that yet. But they will all eventually be able to retract into there, the same as the others. And then there will be another bunch of gates on the top, which is all these ones. Not those ones. Yeah, so it's all of them. So they'll all close up. And then all those drones will live in there fairly comfortably. And I'm gonna try and make... Yeah, because they sit quite comfortably at that level, so I'm gonna try and make this a corridor where we can come in and access the weapons from out here and access these drone bays if we need to. And I might need to try and figure out how I can get a platform in there that doesn't clang. But yeah, eventually all this stuff will fold up like that. Let's give the rail cannon another go before we go. So yeah, that works pretty well now. And I did the necessary fiddling around to try and get the barrels all to fire at the top of the spin. Are we ready yet? Takes a while. Yeah, so they all pretty much fire when it gets to the top now. Might need a little bit more tweaking. Oh, and there's still some loose grids knocking around on there. Ugh. Yeah, we'll get rid of them later. Yeah. Get that thing walking again. Yeah, there's definitely a loose grid in there that I need to take out. Oh, it's turned that off when I got out of the seat, hasn't it? Forgot about that. Yeah, the warp controls, I need to change them because they're currently tied into someone being in this control seat. Yeah. Alright. Oh yeah, that's that gun I was messing around with. Oh, I can't use it while I'm in the seat of that, but... Yeah, the big beast, and it does walk. Still needs a lot of tweaking. I need to find that thing that's clanging around inside it and making that horrible noise. Probably some little tiny piece of small grid stuff. But yeah, the walk cycle does just about work. It needs a bit of tweaking to get all the legs synced up with each other nicely. Yeah, because everything's slightly out of sync still, but it can still move itself forwards, which is pretty good. And it can pick up about 8 meters a second, 9 meters. So he's pretty good at walking. Where's that thing that's clanging around then? Entity list. What's that? What's that? Oh, right, I can see it. That can go. That can go. And what's that? That's that, isn't it? There we go. Oh yeah, it was some small grid crap that had fallen down that hole. I thought as much. Right, cool. So, I'm gonna leave that there for now, and we'll come back to this tomorrow maybe, and do some more of this weird stuff. But before I go, let's just try releasing the drones again to see if they're still working properly. Stop you. Let's unlock the drones. They'll probably crash and embarrass me and make a fool of themselves. Because I need to try and work out a way of making them fly straight up and out of the way of the base. Because currently they're just set to engage their task block that makes them follow the base. And I need a little bit more precision than that. So I can then press that button to release everybody. And sometimes they behave, and sometimes they try and fly straight through this wall. Like that dude is trying to do. Because they're supposed to be set to fly straight up to 90 meters. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's also my fault for enclosing them in a little space. But yeah, they do get there eventually. So I'm gonna leave that there. And I will see you all next time. So cheers to everyone for tuning in and having a chat and asking questions and saying hello and all that stuff. And I'll be back in the future with some more stuff. So stay tuned and goodbye for now.